so we talked about what did we talk about? Talked about the information revolution. So not that you need to take notes because this won't be on the test, but it could help the brain learn, just kind of itemize what we've looked at. So we've looked at info revolution. And before that, we looked at why learn about computers. And, you know, it's good to know something about these machines around us, but also leads to better jobs, helps us become more employable. And if you really learn how to use them, you can program them and, you know, create whole new things, invent new industries and destroy old ones. We talked about the information revolution. We talked about turning point in the history of humanity. And, you know, the Industrial Revolution, hunters and gatherers, agrarian society, you know, British imperialism and the educational system, and, you know, the age of exploration, like all that, kind of these different turning points in the history of humanity. Right now we're in the middle of this huge turning point. So, you know, why learn about computers, information revolution, turning point. And then we talked about the cornerstone of technology. And you know, in particular, that's innovation, right? And to innovate is to do something that others aren't doing, which means you have to kind of, okay, most teachers stand up front. I'm going to go stand in back just because people don't do it. I'm just going to do it to see what happens, you know? Like, when you go to the gym, instead of trying to find the closest parking place like everybody else, just park a long ways away and walk 3 blocks. Or City College. I parked by that red church. It's 3 blocks. There's always spaces. It doesn't cost anything. So, innovate, do things different, cornerstone of technology. And then we also talked about the importance of grit. And this is what will help you succeed in life, as a student and the rest of life. And we also talked at the very beginning about social, the importance of social, because we're social creatures. And we learned about the 4 areas of health. Right? So we learned like a lot of really cool stuff so far. Even though it's like we were just talking. But like that's like good takeaway stuff if you truly understand it and grok it and implement it in your life. It changes your life. And that's why we come to education, is so that we could be transformed. We could go from where we're at now to some new place. And that's enlightenment. You're bringing more awareness to something that used to be in the dark. You're bringing light to it. So the next thing that we're going to look at is, I think we're going to look at tech as a tool. Tech as a tool. So that's the next thing we're going to look at. But before we do that, let's just see if there's any comments or questions. Let's say questions first. Anybody have questions about all that? Okay. Next thing I guess before we talk about tech as a tool, we'll talk about the 3 most powerful words. I'll say 3 of the most powerful words in the English language. We'll talk about that next.